morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Before we get started, I would like to note that our presentation does contain forward-looking statement that can be found in our various EDGAR and CEDAR filings. So Donlin Gold is located in Alaska. It is due west of Anchorage. It is in a 50-50 partnership with Barrick Gold. This is truly an exciting time to be in the gold market, particularly when you have a project such as Donlin Gold. I'll speak to a few of the attributes that are key and really a distinguishing factor for this project that we have at NOVAGOLD. Starting with scale, we have almost 40 million ounces of gold, and that is by far the largest amongst in the sector of developing projects that we see. Beyond scale, we have grade. That should never be underestimated. At double the industry average grade, a lot less material needs to be moved to have much broader output. So it's very meaningful when looking at an investment that you have grade on your side. Gives you some protection through various cycles. So we have scale, we have grade, and now we have also the production output. If it were in production today, it would be the largest gold producer in the world. At 1.1 million ounces of gold throughout more than about 30 years, it has definitely by far one of the largest to be seen. To put that into perspective, we have put here on this slide the top 10 gold producing operations in the world. So you can see how it looks beside all of these operations, and also the need for having the next projects of scale coming to replace the declining production and grade within the industry. So it's been drilled extensively, looking back even past 20 years. We have 1,400 drill holes to date in the deposit that's defined the 40 million ounces that I spoke to earlier, but with quite a bit of exploration potential to come. Here we provide a different view of the deposit. You see the ACMA and Lewis deposit that contain the resource that I spoke about in an earlier slide, and you see also the airstrip that's currently utilized. It is a fly-in, fly-out project, and so this is what we utilize to get into site to do any ongoing activities. It's also quite amenable. The topography is amenable to development. As you can see, most of the time we have a different view of Alaska, and Donlin is really in a great location. Here we provide to you a bit of a different scale for the ACMA and Lewis deposit, but more importantly, the gold mineralized belt that you find it in. It's 8 kilometers. The current deposits are located within 3 kilometers of the 8-kilometer gold mineralized belt, and you'll see there's some interesting targets along the way. So we have opportunities to expand the property beyond the 30-year mine life that's currently envisioned by the feasibility study. Alaska is a great place to do business. As we can see, it is a healthy mining industry, but they do need new development opportunities, especially with some other industries struggling to maintain and even in decline. So the state is supportive of mining and looking for greater development opportunities. And so we find ourselves quite fortunate to be in Alaska. It's a great place to do business. It's a great place to visit. I've been going up to Alaska for the last 12 years and 8 years with this particular project, and we have a very big vested interest. Here we just provide you another view, and more importantly, with the jurisdictional risks that we've seen surfacing in the industry, it really has the rule of law behind it as a state and really does welcome mining opportunities. The other core attribute that is very important to us is being on private land. Being on private land gives us the ability and flexibility to work with our partners, and that is on ANCSA land, which is the Alaska Native Settlement Claims Act, which came into effect in the early 1970s. So Donlin Gold was effectively set aside for mining purposes, And we have the partnerships with the Chalista Corporation that own the mineral rights, and with the Kuskokwim Corporation that owns the surface rights. They're active participants in our day-to-day activities and our outreach efforts within the communities because those are their shareholders. So it's very meaningful to have that level of partnership locally, and also the partnership that we have with Barrick. This is an important milestone that we had in 2018. We received the Record of Decision, which is the federal permit. It was a 6-year undertaking that was completed successfully. And this is the first time that the BLM and the Corps issued a joint Record of Decision and wanted to mark the occasion by having an official signing ceremony. So that's quite a big de-risk factor for the project, that we have a number of our key state and all of our federal permits needed to proceed with activities. Here we just list some of the core permits that we have. We still have a few that are underway. Some will be received imminently, and others will take, such as the dam safety certificates. It's a multi-year undertaking, but allows us to proceed with other activities that we have underway. This just gives you a bit of a view of the core upcoming milestones that we have. In terms of technical studies that might require additional geotechnical work at site, also updating the feasibility study. It was filed in 2011, so that would be only prudent for the company to be updating that work ahead of making a construction decision. Social responsibility is not just a key word for us. It's something that we live and act by since Donlin has been over 24 years now. And it's something that we do collaboratively with our Native corporation partners. On the environmental front, on the health and safety front, we also have a number of educational initiatives, and we go out to the local communities and bring youth back into broader centers to get exposure to job opportunities and to better education. And so it's a really great and important undertaking that we have. So here's a little overview of our balance sheet. We have over $150 million in cash. We have $100 million in receivables coming in from Newmont. That's from the sale of our Galore Creek property. And another $75 million that we could get if they go make a construction decision on Galore. Our budget for 2019 was $24 million. We are releasing our results this week on Wednesday, followed by a webcast that we typically do quarterly on Thursday morning at 8 a.m. So just a few more slides. We have here the leverage. It's really key to some of our top shareholders, this leverage that Donlin provides, and hence NOVAGOLD through varying gold prices. I think we've seen a bit of that in the last year, reflected in our share price on how quickly it can increase as the gold price increases. Here you get a bird's eye view of our market cap and our top shareholders. The top 7 shareholders represent approximately 52% of the shares issued and outstanding of the company. They've been invested in us for broader than 7 years and really believe and look at NOVAGOLD as an unexpiring warrant on an ounce of gold through Donlin. And so just in quick summary, we have a great development property, an excellent balance sheet. We haven't gone and done a financing since 2012. We've been stewards of the capital that was allocated to us and have been very deliberate in how we've executed on our strategy over the last 8 years, and continue to see tremendous upside through Donlin Gold and through the various partnerships that we have. And with that, we're at booth 523, and I would invite you to come and ask any questions that you might have. Thank you.